Hey guys, welcome back to part 2 of today's session. So I'm back in the warmth now. It was really chilly when I was outside this morning recording the first part. So I came back inside, but then my kids said they wanted to go outside and go to the park. So thank you for your patience. I know you waited a little bit, a few hours for the second part. So I appreciate your patience. It's a lot warmer out there now than it was when I was out there this morning. But now that I'm back inside after bringing the kids home, I'm not gonna go back out again. I'm tired and it's nice and warm in here anyways. So this is part 2 of today's session. We're reading Juz 13. We're in Surah 12, Surah Yusuf. And we're at page 240, starting from ayah number 38, inshallah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. And I follow the ways of my fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and never could we attribute any partners whatever to Allah that comes of the grace of Allah to us and to mankind. Yet most men are not grateful. O my two companions of the prison, I ask you, are many lords differing among themselves better, or the one Allah, supreme and irresistible? If not him, you worship nothing but names which you have named, you and your fathers, for which Allah has sent down no authority. The command is for none but Allah. He has commanded that you worship none but him. That is the right religion, but most men understand not. O my two companions of the prison, as to one of you, he will pour out the wine for his Lord to drink. Okay, so now he's talking about the dreams that his two companions in the prison had told him about, which was in the first part that I read earlier today. So one of them had a dream that he was pressing wine, and the other one had a dream that he was carrying bread on his head and birds were eating the bread. Okay, so now Joseph is explaining the dreams. So about the one who was dreaming about pressing wine, he said, he will pour the wine for his Lord to drink. So maybe he's some kind of servant. As for the other, he will hang from the cross, and the birds will eat from off of his head. So has been decreed that matter whereof you twain do inquire. So the matters that you were inquiring about is what that means. Shakespearean. And of the two, to that one whom he considered about to be saved, he said, mention me to your Lord. But Satan made him forget to mention him to his Lord. And Joseph lingered in prison a few more years. The king of Egypt said, I do see in a vision 7 fat kine. It says K-I-N-E, kine. Don't ask me. I don't know. But I think it means cows, because I think that's the story. That's the story, is that he had a vision, or he had a dream of 7 fat cows whom 7 lean ones devoured. So seven thin cows eating 7 fat cows, and 7 green ears of corn and 7 others withered. O you chiefs, expound to me my vision, if it be that you can interpret visions. So he asked his buddies. I don't know. Okay, page 241, ayah 44. They said, a confused medley of dreams, and we are not skilled in the interpretation of dreams. But the man who had been released, one of the 2 who had been in prison, and who now bethought him after so long a space of time, said, I will tell you the truth of its interpretation. Send me to you. I think that's what that means. O Joseph, he said, O man of truth, expound to us the dream of 7 fat cows, it says kine, but I'm going to replace that word with cows, whom 7 lean ones devour, and of 7 green ears of corn and 7 others withered, that I may return to the people, and that they may understand. Joseph said, for 7 years shall you diligently sow, as is your wont, and the harvest that you reap you shall leave them in the ear, except a little. In the ear? In the rear, maybe, I don't know. Anyways, except a little, of which you shall eat. By the way, guys, I ordered off Amazon a copy of the Clear Quran. The Clear Quran, it's called. So that as soon as that arrives, I'm going to read from that, because this Quran I love it because it has the Arabic and then the English translation, which I am going to use after Ramadan when I go back to reading the Arabic with the English translation. But as soon as my clear Quran comes in the mail, I'm going to start reading that for you guys because it's going to be a whole lot easier to understand. And I find that this one, the English part of this one, has quite a few number of typos. So sometimes there's a typo or there's like some letters missing out of a word, and I'm like, what is that word supposed to be? So I'm really sorry. And not just the typos, but it's the way it's translated in English makes it sound like I'm reading Shakespeare. Like it's not clear, you know? It's old English, like old English. Anyways. So I'm up to except a little of which you shall eat. Okay, ayah number 48. Then will come after that a period of 7 dreadful years, which will devour what you shall have laid by in advance for them, all except a little which you shall have specially guarded. Then will come after that period a year in which the people will have abundant water, and in which they will press wine and oil. So the king said, bring you him to me. But when the messenger came to him, Joseph said, go you back to your lord and ask him, what is the state of mind of the ladies who cut their hands? For my lord is certainly well aware of their snare. The king said to the ladies, what was your affair when you did seek to seduce Joseph from his true self? The ladies said, Allah preserve us, no evil know we against him. We don't know any evil against him, I think that means. Said the Aziz's wife, now is the true manifest to all. It was I who sought to seduce him from his true self. He is indeed of those who are ever true and virtuous. This I say in order that he may know what I have never been. He may know that I have never been false to him in his absence, and that Allah will never guide the snare of the false ones. Page 242, ayah 53. Nor do I absolve my own self to blame. The human soul is certainly prone to evil, unless my Lord do bestow his mercy. But surely my Lord is often forgiving, most merciful. So the king said, bring him unto me. I will take him specifically to serve about my own person. Therefore, when he had spoken to him, he said, be assured this day you are, before your own presence, with rank firmly established, and fidelity fully proved. Joseph said, set me over the storehouses of the land. I will indeed guard them, as one that knows their importance. Thus did we give established power to Joseph in the land, to take possession therein as, when, or as he pleased. We bestow of our mercy on whom we please, and we suffer not to be lost the reward of those who do good. But verily the reward of the hereafter is the best, for those who believe and are constant in righteousness. Then came Joseph's brethren. They entered his presence, and he knew them, but they knew him not. And when he had furnished them forth with provisions suitable for them, he said, bring unto me a brother you have of the same father as yourselves, but a different mother. See you not that I pay out of full measure, and that I do provide the best hospitality? Now if you bring him not to me, you shall have no measure of corn from me, nor shall you even come near me. They said, we shall certainly seek to get our wish about him from his father. Indeed, we shall do it. And Joseph told his servants to put their stock in trade, with which they had bartered, into their saddlebags, so that they would know it only when they returned to their people, in order that they might come back. Now when they returned to their father, they said, O our father, no more measure of grain shall we get, unless we take our brother. So send our brother with us, that we may get our measure, and we will indeed take every care of him. Yeah, so that first time that the 10 brothers visited Egypt and met Joseph, peace be upon him, they didn't realize that that was his brother Joseph. That was their brother. They didn't realize that. But Joseph really wanted to see his younger brother Benjamin. But Benjamin didn't go with the brothers to Egypt that time. So he sent the brothers back, and he told them, bring Benjamin next time with you, because he really wants to see him. Benjamin was his only full brother. The other brothers were only his half brothers. That Benjamin and Joseph had the same mother, and all the other boys had a different mother. Okay, page 243, ayah 64. He said, shall I trust you with him with any result other than what I trusted you with his brother before? But Allah is the best to take care of him, and he is the most merciful of those who show mercy. Then when they opened their baggage, they found their stock in trade had been returned to them. They said, "O our father, what more can we desire? This, our stock in trade, has been returned to us, so we shall get more food for our family. We shall take care of our brother, and add at the same time a full camel's load of grain to our provisions. This is but a small quantity." Jacob said, "Never will I send him with you until you swear a solemn oath to me in Allah's name that you will be sure to bring him back to me unless you are yourselves hemmed in and made powerless." And when they had sworn their solemn oath, he said, "Over all that we say, be Allah the witness and guardian." Further he said, "O my sons, enter not all by one gate. Enter you by different gates. Not that I can profit you aught against Allah with my advice. None can command except Allah. On him do I put my trust, and let all that trust put their trust on him." And when they entered into the manner their father had enjoined, it did not profit them in the least against the plan of Allah. It was but a necessity of Jacob's soul which he discharged, for he was, by our instruction, full of knowledge and experience. But most men do not know. Now when they came into Joseph's presence, he received his full brother to stay with him. He said to him, "Behold, I am your own brother, so grieve not at aught of their doings." So grieve not at aught of their doings means don't grieve at any of their doings. Okay, page 244, ayah 70. At length, when we had furnished them forth with provisions suitable for them, he put the drinking cup into his brother's saddlebag, then shouted out a crier, O you in the caravan, behold, you are thieves without doubt." Oh, sorry, I hurt my thumb. "Without doubt." They said, turning towards them, "What is it that you miss?" They said, We miss the great beaker of the king. For him who produces it is the reward of a camel load. I will be bound by it." The brothers said, "By Allah, well you know that we came not to make mischief in the land, and we are no thieves." The Egyptians said, "What then shall be the penalty of this if you are proved to have lied?" They said, "The penalty should be that he in whose saddlebag it is found should be held as bondman to atone for the crime. Thus it is we punish the wrongdoers." So he began to search with their baggage before he came to the baggage of his brother. At length he brought it out of his brother's baggage. Thus did we plan for Joseph. He could not take his brother by the law of the king, except that Allah willed it so. We raise to degrees of wisdom whom we please. But overall, endued with knowledge is one, the all-knowing. They said, "If he steals, there was a brother of his who did steal before him." But these things did Joseph keep locked up in his heart, revealing not the secrets to them. He simply said to himself, "You are the worst situated, and Allah knows best the truth of what you assert." They said, "O exalted one, behold, he is a father aged and venerable. Who will grieve for him? So take one of us in his place, for we see that you are gracious in doing good." I'm just going to leave it there for part 2, and I'll see you back here for part 3. I'm excited to hear about what happens. Inshallah. See you soon.